Hello, it's Noah. I feel like I at one point mentioned that I'd make videos about college, and I suppose that, well, this is it. This is what I got. I'm going to show you what I have in my dorm toolkit, because I suppose that kind of fits my vibe. And before I get into that, there's one thing that I couldn't fit, but that I do believe is absolutely essential, and that is duct tape. And I don't believe that I need to justify myself, because it's the best. But actually, just getting into my little bag. This might be a bit excessive. You definitely don't need everything that I have in my little toolkit. I like to be prepared. And also, I think that what I have found is that college students are ridiculously underprepared for most things. And many colleges do recommend that on their packing lists that you bring a toolkit. Do most college students read those? Probably not, because I have found, well, last year and some this year, less given the pandemic, all the time people would put in our floor group chat, oh, hey, does anyone have a screwdriver or a wrench? The most basic of things. There's probably been, in the last 2 years, 10 times where I have provided a tool to someone who had nothing with them. So let's get right into it. On the very top, I have some work gloves. It's not like I'm doing a whole lot of heavy work at college, but it is very nice to have. You never know when you are going to need to do something that you want some protection for your hands for. I also have a flashlight. I don't actually keep this in my toolkit all the time. It goes in some other places. Just as a person, it is good to have a flashlight. You never know when that's going to come in handy. And specifically kind of for toolkit stuff, if you're going to be working somewhere dark, I mean, if you're a college student like me, you're not going to be doing maintenance under a sink. You're going to let facilities take care of that, but you never know. I'll get back to this. I also have just some kind of light string. I actually bought this for some of my research work, but it's come in handy in other places. There's 1,000 uses for it, some form of cordage. And then also, in the context of my research, I just have some nuts and bolts, but that was for fixing a piece of equipment, so that's not really relevant. I also have a knife in my toolkit. Now, if you are living on a college campus, you should definitely check your local laws and your institution's policies. This one's okay where I am because my university allows blades that are under 3 inches in length, but definitely double check on that. I also have a tape measure. That is super useful for, I'm not cutting boards at college, but even just figuring out if a piece of furniture will fit in a space, that is what I use this for most. Just measuring something out before I go and look at shelves for my closet or see if my bed would actually fit in that position. Because it's super annoying to try and move a piece of furniture and realize it's just an inch too big. I actually have another measuring tape, a flexible soft one. Don't use that a lot, but it's nice if you need to get the circumference of a tree or get an approximation of a ring size, because you can do that with a flexible measuring tape. This one, I suppose, not really something that you'd need in the college toolkit, but for me personally, I have a folding saw. Just because I do a lot of outdoorsy kind of bushcrafty stuff. Less at college, but yeah, no, you don't really need that if you're not doing what I do in the woods. Next, we have just some wire cutters. It also has, different holes for stripping wire. I don't really ever use that. I use it to cut wire. That's pretty much it. Just pair of hefty pliers just to grip onto something. Again, I'm not doing a whole lot of work with a pipe or whatever. I'm not doing a whole lot of stuff. It's my dorm room, but having the ability to grip onto something is pretty basic. Along the same line as that, needle nose pliers. Now this is more for kind of fine tuning, whether I'm just trying to thread a piece of string through something or just get at something that I dropped or whatever. It's kind of nice to have a needle nose pliers. Crescent Wrench, duh. If you were going to have only a handful of things, a Crescent Wrench I think should be at the top of your list. This is what most commonly I have had people ask me for because they did not bring one. Whether it's tightening a bike seat, fixing up some little thing, whatever. Lots of versatility. Get yourself a Crescent Wrench. This has kind of been grandfathered in from old kits. I've got another Crescent Wrench. 2 is actually kind of handy sometimes if you need to kind of do reverse tension, and then I have just some other grips. Again, I've gotten this since my first iteration, and that's kind of replaced some of these. Safety glasses, you never know. Honestly, if I'm really ever doing anything where I'm putting tension on something or sawing, I will just throw a pair of safety glasses on. It is easy. They are cheap. Why not? 99% of the time it's fine, but why take the chance when it's as easy as just putting some safety glasses on? Your eyes are pretty precious, and it would suck to get a shard of metal in them. Got some electrical tape. I've got this kind of little nut driver for kind of small hex, mostly for like bikes and motorcycles is what this would come in handy for, or little things like that. Now for things that are a bit bigger, I actually have a metric and a standard socket set. That's probably a bit more than what your average college student needs, but if I need something specific, I generally have it because that covers the most common things that you would need. And I've actually had 2 situations in the past year and a half where I've needed, or that someone else has needed one of these, and I've kind of been able to be the person who has all the stuff, versus trying to track down maintenance or whoever to get your hand on the socket. It feels nice to be that person where if someone in the group chat says, oh, hey, I needed a socket wrench for, whatever, assembling this piece of furniture or fixing my bike or whatever. It's nice to be the person who has that on hand. Now getting into some screwdrivers, I have, your basic flathead and Phillips. This is probably what I use most often because most screws I encounter, this is it. Whether it's just tightening up a piece of the university furniture or really whatever, it's a screwdriver. Yeah. Now, for more specialty things, I have this guy, which, a lot of drivers will have interchangeable bits, right? I don't have an electric, drill and driver in my dorm room, but I have this little screwdriver, which has basically the same thing, and that's what this is for. These are, gotta open it the right way, driver bits. And now instead of a driver, if I need whatever, a square bit or a star bit or a specific size flat head screw or whatever, I can just pop that out and pop it in here. And now I have that screwdriver, and there's a little magnet in here that kind of holds it in. So that is pretty snazzy. It's a fairly easy way to have a lot of versatility. Let's see. Little scraper, putty knife. The most prominent use I've had this for was cleaning up a mess that my roommates made of, there was just some sticky stuff on the counter. I don't know what it was, but I had to scrape it off. We love that. And getting down to the bottom, a set of Allen wrenches. Again, useful for bike stuff. That's mostly where I've interacted with it. Or honestly, if you're trying to repair a tool or a knife or fix something like that, that's what I'd mostly use these for. Or assembling furniture. A lot of times, even like IKEA stuff, they'll usually come with a little hex key, but if you lose that hex key or it doesn't come with one, Often furniture will need these. And then I have an air pressure gauge, just for like, tires, and a knife sharpener. But that is pretty much all I've got in here. So I hope that if you are watching this, that it has been interesting or informational to you, whether you are a college student or someone in an apartment who or just even assembling a first toolkit. This is, a lot of the basics that you would need. So if you like this video or have some suggestions for me, I would love to hear about that in the comment section. I'm always looking to improve my toolkits. If you think that I have left something out, let me know down in the comment section. Otherwise, if you like the video, please give it a like or subscribe to the channel. I don't really post consistent specific things. It's a bit of an eclectic mix. But check it out, and I think you'll find something interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching this time. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.